Q1043.
Well, we go from a comedian in 1/2 hour to one of the great figures in the history of rock and roll in the next half hour. Andy Summers of The Police is here, and well, that was a very familiar sounding song to you, no doubt.
Yeah. But let's just before we get into it, talk about Hunter and his instrument.
The tuba.
Because I like to say to Hunter that I think you're a really brave man. To me, anybody who plays the what's the instrument?
The tuba.
The tuba. It's a mark of courage. This is a difficult instrument, and you could also be a mark of ridicule. People, they go for this instrument, So I like to congratulate this kid on standing there and supporting the great harmonic foundation of whatever band he's playing, because we need tuba players in the world.
Yeah.
Also, it's very slimming, so yes, Hunter, if there's a little problem on the way, so you're going to lose it, buddy, with that. So,
and he's a brother musician.
Yeah, yes. A brother musician.
Yeah,
I'm into it.
Everybody knows, of course, about The Police. How can you not know about The Police? One of the most successful bands in all of the history of rock and roll. But
recorded history.
You had a life before The Police that was actually pretty significant. You were a successful musician before most of us here knew your name.
I was doing okay. Yeah, I've been in some bands, and as soon as I sort of left my hometown in England, went to London with a friend. We started a band, but we hit it real fast.
Mm-hmm. But you played with big name people.
Well, I did. I ended up actually playing in the Animals.
Yeah. Before The Police,
famous. Yeah.
How old were you then when you played?
22.
Wow.
Yeah.
And
in the movie.
And you played with Brooklyn's own Neil Sedaka for a while?
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I had a strange little period, but that was one of the things that helped me survive, actually.
And that was at the time, I guess, in the early mid-'70s when there was a bit of a resurgence.
Yes.
When he was on Elton John's label, Rocket Records.
Neil Sedaka was huge in England. He was a giant star. And right at the time when I was totally down and out in London, having just returned from LA to London, and I got this gig with Neil, who hadn't even heard me play.
Well, how'd you get hired? How do you get hired?
It's a good story, actually.
Tell us.
I was there, and I connected with some people, and the guy I connected with was the drummer with Neil, and said, well, I can put you in touch with this. I don't know if you want to do it. I'd do anything,
Mm-hmm.
Try and survive by the guitar. Anyway, got a call from Neil's wife, Luma, I think.
Liba.
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 Yeah. Okay, well done. Got called to the Inn on the Park in London. It's on Hyde Park. Went up to his suite, and I always remember this. He was. I walked in the room and sitting on his bed, and I walked in, and he immediately liked me. We hit it off like that, and but I was pretty destitute at the time. I just come back to live in London. I had a guitar. I had my Telecaster, but I didn't have an amp or anything. And, we had this conversation. He hadn't heard me play or anything. And I said, my equipment's arriving by ship from the US. And I wonder if I need to get an amp now so I can do these rehearsals you're talking about. Could you lend me £300? Anyway,
wow!
Put his hand in his pocket and gave me the £300.
That's chutzpah.
It was kind of incredible, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out there going, Jesus Christ! I got this money.
You got the money. You say, should I get an amp or buy some food?
Well, yeah. It was a little bit of both. I think we went out that night and had an Indian. It was brilliant. Anyway, I did 2 tours with him. But the last part of the story, actually, because it was a great time when I needed, and after that I went into playing in bands in London, and subsequently, not too long after, of course, met Sting and Stewart. But fast forward a few years, I think we were on our way to Stadium, and for some reason I was coming in from LA to New York, got off the plane, and as I sort of got off the plane and came into the building, Neil came up to me and, oh my God, it's you. It is you, right? It's all right. And right as this was happening, I was sort of being surrounded by these heavies because, it was at that absolutely manic time. And I said, hi, Neil, yes, it's me. And they sort of literally picked me up and carried me off to this limousine. And my last view of him was sat there going, oh, my God.
Well, he must have been so proud that a guitar player in his touring band became a superstar.
Yeah, it was a very sweet moment. Then he came to the show, Boys, Kids, and all that. Anyway, so, yeah. accolades to Neil.
And you're here in New York to host the world premiere of your documentary film, Can't Stop Losing You. We'll talk about that in just a moment. But we also have something very special. We have a brand new song that's never been heard before anywhere in the world.
On Earth or anywhere.
Not on the radio, not on the internet, not anywhere, not in some podcast. This is
a debut, right?
This is going to be a true world premiere that we've got coming up in just a few minutes right here at Q1043. Andy Summers, of course, famous as a guitarist, The Police, will host the world premiere of his documentary film tonight at the SVA Theater on West 23rd Street. It's based on Andy's best-selling memoir, One Train Later. It's called Can't Stand Losing You. And he's going to be there at the screening tonight, and there's a Q&A that will follow the screening. Now, this film begins with your very early days, continues through, the madness of being a major rock star, and goes all the way into the 2007 reunion tour, which, with whatever conflicts and difficulties may have been going on at the time, turned out to be the third highest grossing tour in history.
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Well, if in fact that turns out to be the last Police tour, I mean, that is...
Oh, don't even say that.
No, if it does, I mean, that's certainly going out on top.
Again, we did it again like we did in the 80s. We went out on top, to everyone's shock and horror. But, of course, there is a sort of grim satisfaction in that. But one thing about going out at that point in time, in the 80s when we did, left so much fuel in the legend of the band that when we did go back, finally got it back on and went out in 2007-08, it just did incredible business. Everybody was so thrilled to see it again. So
do you think it'll happen again?
I might be pushing daisies by the time.
Oh, let's say
no,
that.
I don't know. You never know. I mean, that's it. We never do that again.
I mean, look at the Led Zeppelin situation. Obviously Jimmy Page and John Paul Jones want to do it. Robert Plant doesn't want to do it. No. That's the problem that they're having right now.
Absolutely.
I mean, it happens that way.
So isn't it the same sort of deal?
It is sort of the same sort of deal. I think it's strange. You go, oh no, that's it. We're definitely shutting the door on that. I go, why? Just leave the door open. We do it. If we don't, we don't. But strange things promote these things. And the only thing I would say is that we did go out at an incredible time in 07, 08, before the recession hit and all that. It was a kind of a golden moment. I don't know if we could repeat that thing the same way.
Oh, yes, you could.
All right, thank you. Okay,
we want to see you guys together. Are you kidding me?
Okay, in that case, I'm going to take Sting's phone call today because he keeps bloody calling me, and I'm getting really tired of it. But I guess I'll have to do it.
And you have a new band.
I have a new band, yeah,
and they're called Circus Hero.
No, Circa.
No, Circa. I'm sorry.
Not bad,
Jim's not used to his new glasses.
Yeah.
I'm just getting my new
glasses.
I just got them yesterday.
Oh, dear. Circa Zero.
Circa Zero. Circa Zero. Circa Zero. Circa Zero.
Yeah, I can see that one. That's funny. That's right.
And tell me about them.
Or us, I should say.
Yes. Well, they're your band.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I've been working with singers. Essentially, it'll be a three-piece probably, and we'll see if we're going to add another guitarist or a couple of girl singers, maybe. But no, I've been working with a singer in LA all year called Rob Giles, very talented guy. He's currently been in a band called The Rescues, but they're not going to continue. So we've been making tracks, working on it, building it since late February, but we're about ready to go. And this track that we've got here is, typical of what we're doing. So you'll hear what kind of music it is.
It's your composition?
Yeah, we wrote everything together. Yeah, everything together over the summer. So we're going to get started with this right after Christmas, launch it, and see if we can get out there.
Okay, this is the very first time this has ever been heard.
Very exciting.
So turn it up.
Let's rock.
The name of the song is Say Goodnight, and the band is Circa Zero. Never before heard anywhere else. That's its debut.
I love it.
Circa Zero and Say Goodnight. Andy Summers. And that was the first time he heard it on the radio, too.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
it was kind of fun to watch the face of the artist as he's hearing his song on the radio for the first time, because they sound different when they're on the radio.
Sure. Yeah, something that happens.
There's something magic that the air does. I don't know what it is, but there just
like
is.
Yeah.
And the screening of the film will take place tonight at 7 p.m. The SVA Theater, 333 West 23rd Street. That's between 8th and 9th Avenues. And then there will be a Q&A with Andy following the screening of the film, which will premiere tonight. Can't Stand Losing You. And we have 6 pair of passes for Q listeners. So if you call us at 1-888-872-1043, we'll start with caller 25 and we will set you up. Thank you for letting us premiere your new song.
Thank you. Thanks for doing it.
And any plans to take this band out?
Absolutely. We're just getting to that point. It seems to... these days we've got to kind of structure the whole thing. I don't think we're just going to fall out into the first club that's available. I think we're going to try and set this up, how they do it now, social networking, everything, get something on YouTube, put out this track probably and go from there. But, in the early months of next year, we'll start raising our heads.
Okay, well, thank you for spending time with us this morning.
Great.
Thank you.
Okay, Andy Summers here at Q1043.